If you are over 45 and using olive oil for your health, there is something most men are never told. Clinical research suggests olive oil by itself is not the full story when it comes to protecting the prostate. In fact, the real power of olive oil may not be in the oil alone, but in what you combine it with. Many men drizzle olive oil on salads, cook with it daily, and assume they are automatically protecting their prostate from enlargement, inflammation, and nighttime urination. But what if the benefit depends on a specific pairing that dramatically increases how protective compounds are absorbed inside your body? What if olive oil alone is only half the equation? Tonight, we're going to break down the science of prostate inflammation, hormonal shifts after 40, nutrient absorption, and the one addition that may turn olive oil from a healthy fat into a strategic prostate support tool. This is not about hype. It's not about miracle cures. Clinical research suggests this is about synergy, bioavailability, and how aging male biology actually works. The prostate is a small gland, but it is extremely sensitive to inflammation and hormonal changes. After age 40, testosterone levels gradually decline. Yet the enzyme 5-alpha reductase continues converting testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, commonly known as DHT. Elevated DHT is strongly associated with prostate tissue growth. That growth is what leads to urinary hesitancy, weaker stream, incomplete emptying, and the most frustrating symptom of all, waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. to urinate. Medical experts emphasize that this process is common and does not mean something is wrong. It means the biology of aging is unfolding. However, chronic inflammation amplifies this process. Inflammatory signaling can increase cellular stress inside the prostate, potentially worsening symptoms over time. This is where diet enters the conversation. Clinical research suggests that dietary patterns influence systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormone metabolism. The Mediterranean dietary pattern, which prominently features extra virgin olive oil, has repeatedly been associated with favorable cardiovascular and metabolic outcomes. Some observational research also suggests men following this pattern may experience lower rates of aggressive prostate disease. But here is what is often misunderstood. Olive oil is not a magic shrinker of the prostate. It is primarily a carrier of fat, rich in monounsaturated fatty acids and polyphenols. Its greatest value may lie in its ability to enhance the absorption of certain fat-soluble phytonutrients. One of the most researched prostate-supporting compounds is lycopene. Lycopene is a carotenoid responsible for the red color in tomatoes. Multiple population studies have suggested that higher lycopene intake is associated with improved markers of prostate cellular health. But there is a critical detail that changes everything. Lycopene is fat-soluble. That means without dietary fat, absorption is limited. Clinical nutrition studies show that cooking tomatoes breaks down plant cell walls, increasing lycopene availability. When those cooked tomatoes are consumed with olive oil, absorption increases significantly. In other words, olive oil is not the hero by itself. The combination of olive oil and cooked tomatoes is where the real synergy appears. This explains something fascinating about traditional Mediterranean cuisine. Tomato sauces simmered in olive oil, crushed garlic sautéed gently in olive oil before adding tomatoes, slow-cooked vegetable stews finished with olive oil. These combinations are not random. They unintentionally create biochemical synergy that modern nutrition science is now explaining decades later. Clinical research suggests that when lycopene is more bioavailable, antioxidant activity inside prostate tissue may increase. Oxidative stress is one of the drivers of cellular aging. Reducing it may help support healthier long-term prostate function. Another compound often discussed in prostate research is curcumin, derived from turmeric. Curcumin has been studied for its anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic low-grade inflammation is believed to contribute to prostate enlargement. However, curcumin alone is poorly absorbed. Fat dramatically enhances its bioavailability. Olive oil can serve as a supportive fat medium for curcumin absorption. Again, synergy. Again, combination over isolation. Let's address a myth, clearly and calmly. There is no credible clinical evidence showing olive oil alone can reverse benign prostatic hyperplasia. That claim is exaggerated. What clinical research does suggest is that anti-inflammatory dietary patterns may help slow symptom progression and support overall cellular health. Slowing progression and reversing enlargement are not the same thing. Responsible messaging matters. Another powerful addition frequently discussed in clinical nutrition circles is garlic. Garlic contains sulfur compounds such as allicin that have been studied for immune modulation and anti-inflammatory activity. Some observational research suggests regular garlic intake may correlate with improved urinary symptom scores. When garlic is gently sautéed in olive oil, fat-soluble components may become more bioavailable. Once again, olive oil becomes a transport vehicle. Pumpkin seeds are another food commonly associated with prostate support. They contain zinc and phytosterols. Zinc is essential for normal prostate physiology, as the gland stores higher concentrations of zinc than many other tissues in the male body. While zinc does not require fat for absorption in the same way as lycopene, incorporating pumpkin seeds into meals that include healthy fats may support broader hormonal balance and inflammatory control. Omega-3 fatty acids are also relevant. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, but relatively low in omega-3 south. Fatty fish such as salmon provide omega-3 fatty acids that have been associated with anti-inflammatory signaling. Clinical experts often emphasize that a balanced fat profile may be more beneficial than relying on a single fat source. Again, pattern over isolation. Now let's connect this to nighttime waking. Many men who wake at 3 a.m. assume the issue is purely mechanical pressure from an enlarged prostate. But clinical experts explain that fluid timing, evening caffeine, blood sugar instability, and even untreated sleep apnea can amplify nocturia. Elevated insulin levels from high-sugar diets may increase inflammatory signaling. That inflammation can affect bladder sensitivity and prostate tissue response. Replacing processed seed oils and trans fats with olive oil may support metabolic health indirectly, but without reducing refined carbohydrates, the benefit is limited. This is why the message is not olive oil is the cure. The message is olive oil is a tool, and tools work best when used correctly. There is also a psychological barrier in men's health. Many men delay addressing urinary changes because of embarrassment. Clinical experts emphasize that prostate enlargement is extremely common after age 50. It is not a personal failure. It is biology. Addressing it through nutrition, weight management, sleep optimization, and medical consultation is proactive, not shameful. Portion control also matters. Olive oil is calorie dense. Excess caloric intake leading to weight gain may worsen hormonal imbalance. Visceral abdominal fat is associated with altered estrogen-testosterone ratios. Hormonal imbalance may indirectly influence prostate tissue growth. Using olive oil strategically, not excessively, is key. So what does a practical daily strategy look like according to clinical nutrition insights? Incorporate extra virgin olive oil into meals that include cooked tomato products. Add crushed garlic. Include leafy greens. Ensure adequate zinc from whole food sources. Add omega-3 rich fish several times per week. Reduce refined sugar and ultra-processed foods. Adjust evening fluid intake. Seek medical evaluation if symptoms are moderate to severe. This is a comprehensive approach. Clinical research suggests synergy between nutrients often produces stronger biological effects than isolated supplementation. When olive oil enhances lycopene absorption, and lycopene supports antioxidant activity, and reduced oxidative stress supports cellular integrity, the cumulative effect over years may matter more than any short-term intervention. And this is where perspective becomes powerful. The prostate does not respond to quick hacks. It responds to patterns repeated daily for years. Small improvements compound. If you are currently waking at night, noticing urinary changes, or simply wanting to protect your health proactively, understand this clearly. There is no shame in taking control. There is no weakness in discussing symptoms. There is strength in awareness. Medical experts emphasize early lifestyle adjustments may reduce symptom progression and improve quality of life. Nutrition is not a replacement for appropriate medical care when needed, but it is a foundational pillar. If you remember one thing from this entire discussion, remember this: never use olive oil alone if your goal is prostate support. Combine it intelligently. Pair it with cooked tomatoes to enhance lycopene absorption. Use it to deliver anti-inflammatory plant compounds. Make it part of a structured dietary pattern rather than a single isolated habit. Your body is constantly adapting. It responds to what you repeatedly give it. Every meal is either supporting inflammation or calming it. Every evening routine either supports restful sleep or disrupts it. Every decision compounds over time. You are not powerless in this process. You are not doomed by aging. Aging is natural, but neglect is optional. Clinical research suggests that men who take small, consistent steps, adjusting diet, maintaining healthy weight, prioritizing sleep, seeking medical guidance often experience better long-term outcomes than those who ignore early signs. This conversation is not about fear, it is about clarity. It is about removing myths and replacing them with strategy. Because the real goal is not just fewer bathroom trips. The real goal is confidence, the ability to travel without anxiety, to sleep deeply, to live without that quiet background worry about your health. And that begins with understanding that simple, daily choices, even something as ordinary as how you use olive oil, can either work alone or work intelligently.